Hey guys, it's Anish here. So whenever I talk to a business owner about systemizing their business, they usually ask me one question. What software do I need to systemize my business? And if you're a business owner who spent months or even years searching for the right software to finally systemize your business operation, then this video is going to help you. Because I'm going to be honest and upfront with you. The software that you're looking for does not exist. At least not the way most business owners think it does. And here's a question that many business owners should be asking instead. If companies like Walmart, McDonald's, Toyota, and FedEx existed long before software existed, how did they systemize their business? Like for instance, you can see here, McDonald's has been around since the 1940s, Walmart since the 60s, Toyota in the 30s, and FedEx who provide delivery all across the world since the 1970s. So these business operations existed before we had software. And even some of these companies like Toyota has a production system that is world-class production system used by almost every manufacturing company today. So the answer is simple. Systemizing is not a software. It is a strategy instead. The issue is if you don't understand the difference between the software and the strategy, you're likely to keep buying softwares and CRM and only find yourself more frustrated than you started. Most business owners today use some sort of CRM, whether it's Monday.com, Go High Level, Jobber, HubSpot, or whatever that may be. They make things like sending estimates, invoices, booking appointments, nurturing your leads, taking payment much more easier, and no doubt about it. But here's some things that softwares cannot do yet. It cannot stop you from chasing your staff for updates. It cannot make people understand their roles and responsibility in the company clearer. And it cannot ensure that the work is actually done properly without any liability. These softwares don't create your operational design. The key here is you first design the operation and then clarify what software actually works for your specific business. So if your business lacks operational design and clear systems, software won't fix that confusion. It just adds that additional layer to the existing confusion that the business already operates in. And this is what I call a tool trap. Think of it this way. You get a piece of software that tells you that they can automate everything. You install the software, then you spend weeks, months trying to force that software into your business operation. Eventually, you start realizing that it does not quite fit with your specific business operation after spending a lot of time and paying for annual subscription. And then another business owner recommends another app. So they end up switching to that app, pay another annual subscription, and then spend more time onboarding and migrating data, training your team, only to realize that that tool does not work for your business either. And this cycle repeats for a lot of business owners over and over again. And some business owners keep trying different softwares for years and spending a lot of time and money and end up frustrated and think that there is no way to systemize their business. And finally, you fall into this tool trap where you spend years looking for the right software and you spend a lot of money with annual subscriptions. And then you probably go a step further trying to redesign this software to fit your operation. And here's the problem. The root cause was not fixed in the first place. Your business may not have an operational design that enables it to find the right software that suits your business. So think about it for a second. Every business is unique on its own. Okay, your industry is different, team's dynamic is also different. And the workflow of how your business operates is also very different. But software doesn't know all that. The software operates within a confined space and doesn't understand how your business operates. And the truth is that most tools is built around a generic flow that applies to most business. Like for example, if you have a prospect, you follow up and nurture them into being a customer. And that's a commonality in most industries. If you have a job completed, you collect payment, send an invoice, maybe ask them for a testimonial. That's a flow that exists for most business. That's all fine and it's a great starting point. But there is a situation where a business owner finally gets into bending their business to fit into the software. And they go down this rabbit hole of custom building the software to match their workflow. If you look over here, you can see the design over here of a business. This is just like one customer journey. You cannot accommodate all that in a software necessarily. So there is a lot more things that falls outside the software and the business owner try to accommodate their business operation to fit in the software. The truth is that that only works after you have already defined a clear process and systems in place. So I'll give you an example. Like when I bought my first business, it was a transportation company. I genuinely believed that the right software will solve everything. So I went all in. I first tried a bunch of project management tools like Asana. I started with Asana, then I went to ClickUp. I did a lot of customization on ClickUp. I heard a lot of good things about it. And then after that, I went to Trello, then went to Notion. So I tried all those project management tools at the beginning. And then I realized that I probably need a CRM. So I went on a CRM spree. I started with HubSpot at the beginning. And then I went to Jobber, and then I went to Monday.com, and then to go high level. These all softwares worked pretty well, but it didn't fit my business operation at that time. And what I did is I finally convinced myself that I need to have a custom software. So I went a step further and hired a software developer to customize Zoho to work for my operation. Okay, and I did a lot of integration with a software called Zapier to connect into my Zoho. I spent a lot of money and spent months through all the setup calls. And at the end of it, I barely used it. Because you know why? It felt forced in my business. They were great on its own, but none of them worked for my business. So this brings a question on what actually systemization means. For a lot of people, systemization can mean a lot of different things. For some people, they think of systemization as it might be a software. Or for some people, they think that it might be a thick binder of rules, of rules of the company. But in my regard, helping a lot of business owners systemize their business, I can tell you, it is more about operational design of the company that matters when it comes to systemizing. So for example, when people think about systemizing, they think that it's going to look something like this. But the truth is definitely an endpoint. But when you're starting off, more looks like this. It looks like a design, a workflow. And in the beginning, you don't need app, you need clarity. And clarity comes with pen and paper. And sometimes you can use a whiteboard or even like a digital whiteboard, like using your iPad, those work great. Because this phase isn't about tools, it's about thinking and planning and designing. You take a step back and ask, what does the customer journey actually look like? And how do you want it to look like? Who owns each step? What happens if something breaks? You map it into your business and you assign who does what and who makes which decision and where the handoff happens. And that's where the real gap of the business operation really shows. So this is the key takeaway. You fix the gaps in your business before you even touch software. What you do is you clarify roles, you define responsibilities, you document simple and usable SOPs, and then only you introduce software into your company. Let me give you another example. This time, a trucking and logistics company that I helped with to systemize their business operation. They run a trucking company that does daily deliveries. Okay, they have multiple trucks, they have tight schedules, drivers on road all day. When I first talked to the business owner, he told me that I'm missing deliveries all the time. And the problem is that I need a dispatch software. Sometimes loads were missed, drivers were calling constantly, invoices were delayed. So the assumption was quite simple when the business owner came to me. It's like once we get a better dispatch or a routing software, everything will work smooth. But then when we started deep diving into the business operation, we really found out the root cause of the problem. There was no defined role for a dispatcher within this company. The owner was approving exceptions, pricing, and changes on the fly. People were wearing 3 to 4 hats while driving trucks for 12 to 14 hours a day. It was not just chaotic, it was super risky and it was completely unsustainable. For this client, we started with mapping the customer journey. We mapped the entire operation flow from the booking to dispatch to delivery to invoice. And we defined who owns dispatch, who approves change, who closes the jobs. And for the first time, everything fell in place. And then we were able to catch the issues of missed deliveries and incorrect address through the process itself without introducing software. Once we tightened that flow, we introduced software in the picture. And because of which, the same tools, different outcomes. We had no missed deliveries, we had clear handover process, faster billing, and it's not because of better technology, it's because the company finally had a structure that made sense. So here is the simple rule that I go by is clarity first, structure second, and software third. So don't start with the software and tools. Start with asking, how would your business run efficiently without any software? And work on the systems that you can put in your business. Define and provide clear clarity on your business operation, then build structure, and only then after that introduce software into the organization. Because many business owners start with software and they never get the clarity and structure part, and then they keep on trying to find the new latest and greatest software to help them with the process. So before this video, if you are a business owner looking for the software to help you with your business, you're not alone. And it's not because you haven't found the right one. It's because you have been missing the strategy behind it. And now, if you're a business owner looking to build a rock solid operation that can run without you, so you can finally do the work of a CEO of building and growing the company, then this is exactly what we help business owners accomplish in just 12 weeks. Because freedom doesn't come from software, it comes from structure. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video provided some clarity into your business and how to improve your operation. If this helped, follow along and I'll see you in the next one.